Today is all about twist endings. So, if you're not a fan of spoilers, we recommend you bolt now. Today, on Gamma Ray, we're going to look at one of horror's most time-honored, if not obvious tropes, the twist ending, and explore the significance of misdirection in the world of the macabre. We've all been there, knee-deep in a story when it takes a hard left turn and suddenly we discover that the guy we were rooting for has been dead all along, or that our favorite Jedi's father is someone of a most dubious nature. In the land of horror, this kind of surprise is relatively par for course. In fact, some could say that it's in the genre's DNA. After all, horror, by its very definition, is a genre of subversion. And if anything, a twist ending is the pinnacle of that concept. By taking audience expectations and turning them on their head, twist endings operate as all good horror ought to, by dealing in elements of uncertainty and surprise.
What have you done to its eyes?
But twist endings can also operate beyond the capacity to shock, sometimes subverting what the audience knows about the world and forcing them to look at it in a new way can also serve as a greater message than mere fright factor. While shock endings have been part of the genre since its inception, it is through the hands of a deft storyteller that they can truly elevate the material to something with impact. A significant turning point in the utilization of this storytelling mechanism in the horror of Western culture came with the arrival of The Twilight Zone. Created by the incomparable Rod Serling and engaging the pens of legendary literary titans like Ray Bradbury and Richard Matheson, The Twilight Zone was horror with a social conscience. Often, the twist endings of The Twilight Zone were more than mere shock value, although they certainly delivered, but served as a savage button on the social commentary that preceded. In one episode, humans destroy an alien in panic only to discover the entity was sent to give them the cure for illness. In another, a man releases the devil on the world because he refuses to admit that pure evil exists. Both of these episodes rely less on subversion of what we think we know, and more on what we choose to willfully ignore about our own humanity and the world around us. Sometimes the power of a twist lies not in revealing a shocking truth, but merely in reminding audiences that the truth itself can be shocking.
You can't handle the truth!
Since The Twilight Zone helped showcase to a new generation of storytellers that the twist has the power of social commentary within its ability to scare, the trope continues to be utilized by filmmakers and films as diverse as M. Night Shyamalan, who is known for his penchant for surprise endings, to bold new fare like The Witch, which took what we know about cinematic witchcraft into new directions.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
However, when a storyteller or series becomes known for employing the use of twists, this presents the unique problem that audiences are soon conditioned to expect the unexpected. With a series like The Twilight Zone, where a twist occurs nearly every episode, or a filmmaker like Shyamalan, whose work is often synonymous with a surprise ending, the challenge then becomes constructing a story so rich that it doesn't rely on the hinge of reveal alone.
I see dead people.
When an audience is waiting for a twist, this is a phenomenon some critics and scholars refer to as the dead horse trope, because the expectation of a reveal essentially has already been beaten into the audience, thus rendering it dead on arrival.
You've been murdered, Mr. Collins.
Which is why some of the genre's greatest twists often serve as part of a greater reveal about the story or humanity. A trick is momentary, but a terrifying truth is forever. Of course, not everything has a deeper meaning, and sometimes a twist is merely that, a mechanism to leave you with one final scare before the end credits roll. So whether it's merely for frightening fun or some grander commentary on the human condition, horror's reliance on the element of surprise remains one of its greatest assets. In a genre where we are taught to expect the unexpected, it's truly a boon when we're still caught unaware.
Don't speak to them! Why? They're dead! What? They're gone!
So as we reach the end of today's discussion, in the spirit of fun and fright, remember that you may not actually know what you think you know, and that sometimes the biggest surprise is yet to come. For all the latest episodes, subscribe to Gamma Ray and make sure to tell us your favorite surprise endings. But give a spoiler warning first. I'm Suzanne Kiley, and this is Dissecting Fear.
Not fair. The best laid plans of mice and men
and Henry Bemis.